Trump is halting all firearms lawsuits. Is this a victory or is this a defeat? Some are really excited about the idea of Trump's administration reviewing all these gun lawsuits. Some say any gun law is an infringement on the Second Amendment. Everybody's really curious as to what this means. I mean, we want to win the lawsuits, right? So does this get us closer to that? Well, let's talk about it. So Trump's executive order, which we talked about last week, asked the Attorney General Pam Bondi to review everything in their world, the world of the Attorney General, that is firearm related. Basically, Trump wanted to undo all the anti-gun crap and that especially had been implemented during the Biden administration and see what they could do in the executive branch to protect and strengthen and preserve your Second Amendment rights. So what happened? So many, I don't know if all, and I'm not sure how many, but many courts have already received a letter from Trump's Attorney General's office. The letters are referencing ongoing lawsuits that involve gun issues or Second Amendment issues, and the Attorney General is asking the judge to pause the case. They're asking basically to hold the case in, the term is in abeyance. And the letters reference Trump's Second Amendment executive orders, and it's asking for time to review. Basically, the Attorney General's office under Trump is saying, hey, we want to go back, take a look at these cases and make sure that that our strategy or our values and our opinions and everything are reflective of these cases. There are a lot of cases by, groups like Firearms Policy Coalition and others. They're suing the federal government. Well, now the federal government's changed. So the federal government wants to make sure that they truly want to continue with these cases in the way that they have been handled over the last 4 years. So basically, they're trying to figure out what they want to do now. The lawsuits happened in many cases under an anti-gun administration, specifically the Biden administration. So they want time to figure out if they want to move forward or not. So what's next? Well, what's next? It depends. One of the cases is about an ATF rule, for example. The ATF is under the executive branch. So they can just throw the rule out and thus making the case moot. So they wouldn't have to continue the case. But don't we want to win these cases? If they change the rule and we don't win the case, is that good or bad? Well, some say it's good. Some say it's not so good. If it is a law that the executive branch cannot change, it's probably better to get a ruling against it. So even though the pro-Second Amendment group is now suing the Trump administration, the federal government, which is, the Trump administration, it's still better to get a win in some of these cases. But the problem is, the Supreme Court only takes a certain amount of cases every year. So it's not guaranteed that every single case is going to make its way to the Supreme Court. So is it best to drop the case and win that way, or is it best to get a ruling from the Supreme Court? And I'm not so sure. We kind of have this really great era in the Supreme Court now, this Second Amendment era where they're taking cases and it really looks like we're making progress, which is wonderful and fantastic, but it's always a crapshoot. Even going in front of a pro-Second Amendment Supreme Court, it's always a crapshoot going to court, and I'm not sure how long the Second Amendment era will last. So we'll have to wait and see. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.